Hey everyone, my name is James and welcome back to Chippy's Couch. So today, we're back for another round of Mage 34, the hardest show to search for on YouTube, but the only one that dares to say, a title? Who even needs it? Hey, welcome back, hope you're all doing well, staying safe and washing your hands. I know I am. Today's going to be a fun day. We're going to do a lot of boss fights. I don't know if we'll win any of them, but I love Calamity boss fights. Hands down, my favorite part of the mod is like getting thrashed or thrashing a boss. So in today's video, we're going to be doing the Old Duke, which is the boss that we were meant to see in the last episode. However, we did fight it when it was very dark. And also, I didn't really give it a full try. You know, we didn't last very long. This is going to be the real attempt. But then we're only going to do that a couple of times because after that, we have a rematch with the DOG. I've been meaning to come on this world and kill this DOG because as we left it in the last episode, I got it down to the final 10% and leaving when we only got to the last 10% was hard, boys. It was hard. It was a real struggle not to come back on, make it an hour episode, keep going at it. The rematch is today, boys. So I saw a lot of you wanted to see Old Duke because I was quite happily going to skip it. I think you guys knew that I didn't really want to do the acid rain again to summon the boss or to get the critter to summon the boss. But we actually got a very nice message from the creator of the Calamity mod. And he did let me know that you can get those little critters at any point after you've killed Poltergeist. So that's what I did. I came on and I got 3 critters. And then after that, I thought, you know what? If I can't beat it in 3 attempts, which I probably won't be able to, I'm done. I don't know what it is, but I can't be bothered to farm for any kind of critter that's rare or that can scurry away. It's just not for me, fam. Let's add a craftable version in, please. Or maybe we'll add in a version that's non-consumable. I'm a bit of a moaner. Will I moan today? Probably not, but that is one thing I definitely will moan about. Okay. Let's do this. I'm actually really excited. So I got a little tip from the creator. He said do it during the daytime. Oh no, wait, did he? Did he say do it during the daytime? I can't remember. Somebody said do it during the daytime. Look, it was one of you. Hold up your hand. All right. Okay, Old Duke. So they don't mess around here. They get straight into it. So to my understanding, Old Duke is Duke Fishron, but old. Here's what I'm thinking. Zimmer frames, I'm thinking medical issues, I'm thinking, you know, the days of glory are gone. Now, I don't know. As you guys know, I don't really care about lore in the Calamity mod or in any kind of game, really. Just not my thing. Just not really somebody who's bothered by it. But I could see Old Duke coming with amazing lore. That's my assumption. I bet Old Duke has the best lore going. I bet you there's some grand story about why he's so old and what he's been through in his life. And I hope to one day hear it. I added this little platform layer up here to basically double my flight, but I don't think I'm going to use it because I think once you get up that high, the gravity effect is probably not worth it. So I need to get used to using my Rod of Discord some more. So I know you guys love my misery sometimes. You love it when something goes wrong or something breaks. So the breakage in my house today is my front door lock. Courtney put a key in to unlock the front door and it got stuck. And I tell you what, boys, I've never been more proud of myself in my life. I feel like I'm really hitting peak maturity. Wasn't able to manually fix my own washing machine. It's just kind of fixed itself. But I was able to fix this. I was very, very proud. The first thing I did, I reached for my toolbox. I started taking off the lock. I was dismantling it. Basically, boys, I fixed it. And if I can fix something in my house, then you know I'm getting old. I'm going to share a story. I don't know if you guys may remember it. This is from many, many years ago, right? This is from when I was a lot younger. So for those that don't know, I moved out of my parents' house when I think I was either 17 or 18. And I got a flat. And I was very proud of my little flat. And it was actually a nice little flat. I really liked it. And I remember the first time my dad came to the new city that I'd moved to. Because I also moved to a new city. He was meeting a friend here, and he brought this friend round to my flat. Or this was the plan. The plan was to bring his friend round to my flat so I could meet his friend and he could see the flat. So beforehand, before he came round, I was like, oh, do you know what I should do? I should have a shower so that I look nice and refreshed, right? And I'm the master at this, where somebody says they're going to be around at 7, and I take a shower at 10 to 7, and I just basically drag out the shower a little bit too long, right? And then I'm always coming out and I got wet hair, and it's, you know what I mean? It's just like, should have prepared a little bit better, James. The story continues. Basically, I do the same routine. I get my shower, and and as I like step out the shower, my little like flat buzzer rings. I'm like, oh god, it's my dad. And all I've got is a towel. So I'm like, quick, run into my room, quickly go throw some clothes, answer the buzzer, invite my dad in and his friend, right? And as I went to open the bedroom door, the handle crumbled in my hand. Like the inner mechanism, it was gone. It was dust. So I had no way of getting into my room with my clothes. So I had to like let my dad in with his mate and be like, Dad, can you fix my bedroom door? And he was like, yeah, son, yeah, all right. You got any tools? And I was like, no, because I just moved in. It was not great. It was not great. It's a very father-son moment. We died at Old Duke. We died at Old Duke. That's all right. But he managed to fix it with some kind of like knife. I don't know. I don't remember the rest of the story. But anyway, this this friend had to sit in the living room on the Chippy's couch for hours. For hours. Like, no joke, hours as he fixed it. Oh, God. But I'm the master now. I fixed it myself, boys. Okay, so what I'm going to try to do here is I'm just going to do repeats of Old Duke until I can try and master something. I really should have been talking about the fight. I'm going to talk about the fight now, guys. So Old Duke so far is Duke Fishron. I'm sure that they've done something more than Duke Fishron, but I'm not seeing it yet, but that's fine, right? Because, look, I'm not a mod designer. I'm not a game designer. If I made Terraria bosses, they would be terrible. They'd be awful. But so far, it's kind of like Duke Fishron. Bit of an endurance test because, obviously, more health. And it seems to, you know, it's just got a lot going on with it. But right now, it's Duke Fishron mixed with Aquatic Scourge attacks. He's old, he's decrepit. And as somebody that doesn't do game design and doesn't know the AI of Duke Fishron like the back of my hand, I play this and I can't really tell the big difference, right? But with that being said, I wonder then about my own motivations with this fight. Because do you guys remember when I did the Masochist Mode series? The boss that I ended up quitting the series on, because I just could not be bothered with it, was a beefed up version of Duke Fishron. And I think for me, I get burnt out of Duke Fishron very easily, right? The real Duke Fishron. So whenever I see like some kind of reattempt at it, some kind of modification to it, I just don't get as excited as I think other people do. So that's why I knew that I would only limit myself today to 3 attacks, to 3 goes at the fight. But I will say Old Duke is pretty cool. Like, I like the concept. And like I said, I bet he comes with some amazing lore. But it really is right now Aquatic Scourge mixed with Duke. I mean, we died to one of those little portal things. They look like the alternative versions to the whirlpools, maybe. Or the tornadoes, or the sharknadoes. They have a name. So I don't know if it's best to be quiet or not during this fight, because what I'm basically trying to do is loop it almost like it was Duke Fishron. There's no real strategy to anything I'm doing, so I know that going silent is not really the most beneficial thing in the world, because I don't feel like right now I'm needing to do ultra dodging moves, but it just seems like one of those fights where it just ramps up towards the last 50%. Do you know what I mean? Alright, so these are the big whirlpools that we were talking about. Just in a little bit more detail. Man, I was lucky that it changed AI then, because I would have been out of the game at that point. The way that was moving towards me, that would not have been good. If I'm being real, this fight is good. I know what it's going to happen, right? If I even get close to beating this fight, I'm going to die in the teleportation phase at the end. The one I'll die to on normal Duke Fishron. Do you know what I mean? Do you guys get those vibes as well? Because I definitely do. Oh, God. Got hit by a spore. Started using this weapon. I don't know why. I don't know if the DPS is actually any better. I don't think it is. I just thought it'd make me chill out a little bit, because then I won't have to focus on actually aiming. That's why I like homing weapons. It's not necessarily that I can't aim. It's just more like I just enjoy the zenness of just moving sometimes. That's why I opt for chlorophyte bullets when I know it's not really the best setup in the world. Okay, we die here. There's no way we survive this. Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, there we go. I died. So I think I've got a pretty good idea of old Duke. I think I get it. I think I see the appeal. It's cool. It's all right. It's not bad. I mean, I think it's just because I'm not the biggest Duke guy. I think if I was a big Duke fan, this would be baller, right? I bet you guys think it's baller. Do you think it's baller? I bet you do. The music's really cool, though. I mean, I like it when a boss has got a bumping soundtrack. And I do feel like that with this. Summons Poltergeist. We should probably get that out. I almost feel like this would be better with summons for us with this current build, but I'm not going to do it, boys. I don't know what weapon to use. I mean, this one is clearly better, right? I don't know. Anyway, let's summon this old dude. So this will be the final one. Hopefully you guys have got a good idea of the fight. I don't know. I would happily farm it out, but I happily wouldn't at the same time. Is that bad? I feel bad for saying it, but it's true. So, can I go on a bit of a tangent, boys? Would you mind? Because I've got something on my chest that I need to talk about. And it's one of those things that nobody cares about. Okay, you ready? Okay, here it is. BioShock Infinite, the BioShock collection, and Borderlands, the collection, 1, 2, and 3, come out on Switch tomorrow, right? Being published by 2K. And 2K hasn't bothered to send a single person an early copy, right? Not that I'm getting an early copy, or I even want an early copy, or even could get an early copy. They didn't send it to anyone. And whenever a game studio does that, you go, what is wrong with this game? It's the biggest red flag in the world. Like, if a publisher doesn't send something to a reviewer early, it is the biggest warning sign, like, alright, it's got problems. It's got horrific performance issues. It looks bad. They've censored something. Do you guys get what I'm talking about? It's the worst, right? Anyway, some guy on Reddit managed to get his copy early. Thank the heavens, right? Somebody's got it early. Just some random guy. They just got it early from, like, Amazon or whatever. And he posts the footage of all the gameplay, and it looks amazing. It runs buttery smooth. Why'd you do this? Okay, tangent over. But it drives me mad. I don't know why. They need to hire me. And all I'll do is to send it to my boys. I'll send it to YouTubers. I don't know. They just need one YouTube channel to go. It runs great. Don't worry. Because they've published some right garbage in the past. They've got a bad rep. Okay, right. Tangent over for real. I ran out of mana potions. I don't know if you guys can tell. Alright, so we died. I think I died around the same point in every fight. Yeah, I think that's it with me and old Duke. Maybe in the future, might come back to it. But I've got Duke burnout. I don't know if that's a real medical condition. I don't know if there's anything you can prescribe for that. But I do. It's very true. I have Duke burnout. Unfortunately, it's just the case, right? I got it mainly recently doing the master mode Duke Fishron, because when I did my little, like, personal session of playing master mode, and then I was sharing clips on Chippy Gaming, one of the things was I did Duke Fishron earlier than you should have done it, and I just did it because I wanted the loot earlier, right? But I got kind of burnt out on it then, just kind of grinding away at that fight. I will admit, there's a part of me as well that's just like, I just want to talk about DOG. It's a cool fight. I love it. There was a comment on the last episode that was basically like, hey, if you're new and this is your first time seeing DOG, you've just witnessed one of the best bosses of all time. And I have to agree. Can we just take a minute to talk about DOG? Can we just give it a little bit of love? Here I am going, I can't really be bothered with old Duke. I feel like I need to balance the system out a little bit. I love DOG so much, right? I love its AI. I love its size. I love that it requires a bit of research, right? You can't go into DOG and just win. In the sense of, like, if you guessed its AI, well done. Are you a genius? Do you get what I mean, though? Like, it requires a little bit of work, but then once you've done it, it's one of the most satisfying feelings ever to have mastered DOG. The music's great. It kicks in great. I just love so much about it. It just makes me happy to fight. And that's great. I mean, I'm a big Calamity fan. There's no denying it. But yeah, this honestly just makes me really smile. I almost wish, because it's not a very, like... It's hard to film. You know, like, it's hard to... Because right now, right, say I was making a trailer. Where's DOG? Where is he? He's off screen, right? Because that's kind of what DOG does, right? He moves around. He's a big boy. He's a big boy. Takes up a lot of the earth. I wish I could have filmed him for the trailer. But the creator of Calamity was pretty pleased that the mods... the bosses that I showed in the trailer were some of the early ones. So I didn't pick them for that reason. I didn't. The reason I picked the bosses I chose was because I wanted a nice balance of the biomes. Because I knew that Chaos was building all of the builds that I kind of, you know, I wanted to match the bosses. And I was trying to base them thematically on, like, the biomes I wanted. That's why I picked the ones I picked. Like, I was like, what can we do for the mushroom biome? Ah, Crabulon. Crabulon was fun. When we were editing the trailer, there was this kind of, like, running gag, right, with Crabulon. Because we had this one scene that we recorded, because we recorded all the scenes before we got to editing, right? We knew every bit of footage we had before we jumped into editing. And we had this one scene with Crabulon, and we didn't know where to put it in the trailer. And every time there was like a shift in the music, we would try and fit it in. And it was such a funny thing, because it'd be like, oh, I can't really figure out what to do here. Right, have we got that Crabulon clip real quick? And we tried to work it in like a million times. And it ended up in this really sweet spot in the end. But it was just, honestly, it was so funny. I loved working on that trailer so much. Me and Chaos made most of it at 4 in the morning. Which is when the best work happens, I swear. It was just so fun to work on. Just a really good time. So when this lockdown began, I kind of told myself that one of the things I would do is I would give myself a break and dedicate myself to a little bit of Netflix here and there. Like, I really wanted to binge a show, because I haven't binged a show in forever, it feels like. But all throughout the lockdown, I've been working hard on my Terraria stuff, you know. I knew that 1.4 was coming early, so, you know, I knew that required a lot of work. I wanted to make sure people had stuff to watch and stuff like that. But anyway, now that busy season is kind of come to a bit of an end, I was like, right, it's time to dedicate myself to a little bit of Netflix. So I kind of told myself, I was like, right, you've got to click on a show. Maybe even the first one that gets recommended, but you have to click on a show and you just have to watch the whole thing. It doesn't matter what it is, right? So I clicked on one that I'm sure a lot of you Americans have probably heard about, especially if you like sports, called The Last Dance. And I just want to talk about it real quick, because it was ace. So I knew nothing about basketball before watching it. I knew very little of Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was just the dude from Space Jam. And when I was 10 years old, that's all he needed to be. But The Last Dance is this documentary about the Chicago Bulls in the 1990s as they built the dynasty that was the Chicago Bulls in the 1990s. And it sounds like I know what I'm talking about, right? Well, before I clicked on it, I didn't know what the Chicago Bulls were. I didn't know the rules of basketball. I barely knew who Michael Jordan was. But I loved it. I watched the whole 10 hours. I thought it was fascinating. I really enjoyed it. But it led on to some great things as well. Because once I'd finished watching it, I loved it. Like I thought it was really, really interesting. I got kind of interested in the shoe deal that Michael Jordan was a part of. You know, the Air Jordans and stuff. So I decided to read the autobiography of Phil Knight, the co-founder of Nike. And that was just another little gem in itself, right? I recommend this to anyone. Almost as a drinking game. Because this man loves shoes. But he loves shoes in the weirdest of moments. He really does. Like when he was in his early 20s, he decided, I want to see more of the world. So he goes on this big expedition around the world. And he's in Greece, he's in Italy. And every time this man cannot help himself, you know, he just can't shut up about shoes. Because he'll be like, I was in Italy and I saw this amazing statue. And all I could think about was their shoes. And I'm like, come on, mate. You did not care about people from thousands of years ago's shoes. No, you did not, sir. You did not. And reading the rest of the book was even more of a gem. It really was. Like, knowing that he started this company and one of the first people he hired was so enthusiastic about the company that it put him off talking to him. So they had this first employee who would do so much for the business, right? Set up all the contacts, was the guy peddling the shoes, you know, doing the big stuff, right? The small stuff that ends up being big. And he was like, I'd get letters from him and I couldn't be bothered to respond. I'm like, you must have been awful to work for. You must have been awful. Are you mad? He was great though. I loved reading him. He was just so interesting. It was just so strange that he like took this job as a teacher as well. And the first thing he did was like, oh, the girl that walked in was really fit, so I married her. You're like, are you alright there, Phil Knight? Are you okay? That wouldn't really fly in these days, right? That would be a little bit strange. I don't know. But he built a wicked company. If anything, it just taught me that the word Nike means Nike and it comes from something or other. See, I've already forgotten it, but it's good. It's a good read. Give it a go. All right, so we're on to the laser phase. This is where I died in the previous episode because I still... Oh, no. I'm going to lose this fight. No, please don't lose this fight. All right, I'm going to get hit by a laser. You watch. Okay, please relax. Okay, just relax. Okay, get through the lasers. All right, we survived. Basically, I messed with the AI then. Oh, I almost did it again. That really wasn't good. I need to get better at dodging this phase here. Oh, okay. Okay, relax. Okay, we got... Oh, we got so far. That was a good fight, though. I'm really proud of that. These episodes are more like podcasts than anything, right? I think we can all agree that. But that one especially, like, the DOG is such a long fight. Wow. I love the DOG. But now I gave it all that love, I'm going to moan about it for a minute. I still don't like the 3 bosses in the middle, and I don't think I ever will. I just think it drags out the fight annoyingly. Especially when you're trying to do refights. Just me, though, on that, I think. Because I don't think I've ever seen anybody else moan about that. But I've been moaning about it since it was added. So, I think with this fight, I've got to be, like, super prepared for the laser phase. Because I just get killed in it every time. I need to make sure that when I'm going into the laser phase, I don't just get, like, stupidly hit right at the start and then kind of ruin my chances. I need to try and remain... Okay, alright, it's laser phase. Try and remain composed. Because I think if I focus on it, I actually do alright. I genuinely love that here I am, the Devourer of Gods. This insane worm boss. It's large, it's crazy, it's got a lot to it. And I always die during the jumping puzzle. Like, what is wrong with me in that sense? It's odd, isn't it? I'm so glad that teleported, but I really could have done without that little cheap shot there, DOG. Okay, I think what you meant to do is when it starts going underneath you like that, you just start heading left. Okay, so this is blue phase, so I know that it goes up. Oh god. I didn't realize you can still deal damage when it's invisible. Oh. I didn't even know. I honestly didn't even realize. Okay. Oh god. Maybe I should just hold out click then when this starts happening. Oh no. Okay. Oh. Okay. Right. We're doing better. It's when it starts going like, the screen starts going black so you don't know what phase it's on. That's the worst. That's when I'm really bad. Alright, go into the laser phase. Okay. The music stopped. It's like, alright, we've run out of song, James. Can you hurry up and kill this thing? Okay, can you teleport? Thanks, mate. Cheers. Oh god, my health is so low. Oh god. Oh my god, I hate that. So what it did then was, it was coming up on the blue phase, and I think it's meant to go like this, right? But in the last second, it swapped to purple, so it just aggroed on me, basically. Well, alright, okay. An episode of failures. You win some, you lose some. You do, you win some, you lose some. I think I'll round it up for today's episode. But guys, if you have any tips, I would love to hear them. I would. I'd love any kind of advice. Maybe you want to recommend a new weapon or a new accessory. Let me open this up. I know it's been a little while since I've shown you guys what I've got going on, but here it is. If you want to give me some tips, I would greatly appreciate it. But yeah, I'm going to wrap things up for today. So guys, I hope you've all been doing well and staying safe. The lockdown changes in Britain on Monday, which is very exciting. We'll soon be able to go to people's gardens, which sounds great. Python lives around the corner. I know he's been wanting a garden visitor. So that's going to be nice on Monday. You know, as long as we keep our distance and stay safe. Sounds good. So, as always, a massive shout out to the channel members who are flying by on screen right now. Thank you guys for supporting my career during these crazy times as we're all affected. I really appreciate it. We're going to be doing another members server event soon. You've probably seen the post, but the theme sounds amazing. The theme is going to be golf for those that want to be in the loop. It's going to be great. Okay, have a great one, guys. See you in the next one for another round of Mage 35. Peace.